As a young citizen, of India, armed with technology, knowledge, and love for my nation, with a vision of transforming India into a developed nation, I'm joining Shobhit University. What about you?
Very good morning to all the participants from India and abroad. Shobhit Institute of Engineering and Technology, Meerut, deemed to be university, and its Centers of Excellence, Center for Agricultural Informatics and E-Governance Research Studies, and Center for Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies, extend greetings to all participants from India and abroad who are attending today's national webinar series on doubling farmers' income by 2022, Atmanirbhar Bharat in agriculture. Today, this webinar series is being hosted on every Thursday at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Today is 25th August 2022. Today's webinar is on very important topic: farm-linked activities and secondary agriculture, empowering small and marginal farmers in India. On behalf of the Honorable Chancellor, Honorable Vice Chancellor, the faculty members of the university, and on my behalf, as Professor Emeritus and Chairman of the Centers of Excellence, Center for Agricultural Informatics and E-Governance Research Studies, Center for Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies, Center for Informatics Development Solutions and Applications, Center for Industry 4.0 Technology Studies and Application, and Center for Health Informatics and Computing. Let me welcome today's guest speaker to deliver the talk in the 90th edition of this national webinar, 90, Dr. Mahantesh B. Patil. We welcome you. Good morning. And I wish to inform the participants and the speaker that the university regularly conducts 2 webinar series weekly. National webinar series on doubling farmers' income by 2022, Atmanirbhar Bharat in agriculture, on every Thursday, and international webinar series on open source digital technologies towards a self-reliant India, Atmanirbhar Bharat, on every Saturday. For the benefits of the participants and the guest speaker, so far under this webinar series, the university has organized 89 editions so far, and in various topics of interest: role of agricultural cooperative societies and e-governance. It was inaugurated by Professor Dr. Ashok Dalwai, former chairman of the Doubling Farmers Income by 2022 National Committee. Blockchain technology-based fishery value chain, a self-contained village felt need of the day. Spices informatics network value chain, lantana camera, a camouflaged treasure trove. Smart hill agriculture, a digitalized hill agriculture value system. Mera mobile, Mera marketing. Smart tribal agriculture optimizing value chains. Digital agri-tech and industry perspective. Land resources information system in India, present and road ahead. Weather decision technologies to increasing farm income. Big data in smart farming. Sustainable soil. This big data in smart farming was addressed by Professor V.C. Patil, Director, K.J. Somaya Institute of Applied and Agricultural Research, Samirwadi, Karnataka. Sustainable soil and land management for climate smart agriculture. Understanding market dynamics for increasing farm income. Role of technologies in mitigating crop risk. How to generate additional profit via simple, attractive approaches in farm produce. Adoption of flexi rubber check dam technology. Potential benefit for farmers in rainfed and coastal agro ecosystems. Realizing the economic benefits of agroforestry. Octosol organic humic solutions for increasing crop yields and quality while increasing farm income and improving soil health. Closing the nutrient loop. Phosphorus management in protein farming, improving nutrient use efficiency and farm productivity. Artificial intelligence enabled pest management technology for agriculture crop protection without pesticides. empowering farmers through extension and knowledge dissemination, role of mass media, smart poultry monitoring solutions, agrobiodiversity, intellectual property laws, agriculture, and farmers' welfare, and insight into the issues of for Indians' agrarian economy, manufacture and application of biochar for increased soil fertility and crop productivity, sustainable integration of livestock with agriculture for farm income increase, role of geographical indications for improving farmers' income, lessons from Asia and Pacific region, dairy informatics network value chain, a dairy tech startup for farmers' income. Professor Patil, can you put the video on? Professor Patil? Okay. Generating spices informatics network value chain, a turmeric startup perspective for farmers' income increase. Generating sustainable on-farm income through fintech interventions. Nutrition sensitive agriculture, pathway for increasing farm income. This talk has been published in the latest journal, African Asian Rural Development Journal for Rural Development has published this talk in their recently published journal issue. Artificial intelligence and data analytics to ensure optimal nutrition in the soil, harvested food that minimizes human disease. Bioenergy supply chain, a business opportunity for rural enterprises and farmer produce organization. Tech enabling India's tech starved farmers for manifold increase in productivity and income. Open insurance ecosystem for agriculture produce risk management solutions to overcome repercussions on farmers' income, market suitability, stability, and food safety. Role of mass media for farmers' income increase. A case study from Green TV. AgStack, Agriculture Stack, open source digital infrastructure for the agriculture ecosystem, a Linux Foundation project. Circular bioeconomy towards resilience, urgent need for redefining raw materials and modified waste management policies and regulations. Agri-tech, new horizon in Indian agriculture. Supporting of farmers for marketing will only help doubling of income by 2022. Rural transformation for farmers' income increase. Case studies from impoverished districts. Mobile-enabled software as a service to solve complex supply chain challenges. A case study from Daily Orders. John Tiray's journey in India, integrated precision agriculture solutions, doubling the income of farmers through eco-agri revolution. Bayer's carbon farming initiatives, post-production intervention, maximizing value for farmers. BAFE models of revival of traditional water management systems to enable doubling of farmers' income. Should we adopt farmers' welfare as a new paradigm instead of farmers' income? ICT intervention in agriculture, challenges and opportunities, democratizing the future of farming, a global experience, commercial processing of fodder, next game changer in dairy. Data-driven agriculture and agri-tech startup perspective, agribusiness potentials in Moringa, agriculture income pathways, strengthening links between agriculture activities and nutrition outcomes. Agriculture income pathways, strengthening links between agriculture activities and nutrition outcome. Technology, education, research, rehabilitation for the environment, cultivating dignity for farmers. Model village development programs, a case study from Maharashtra. Market-driven agriculture, need for development of crop-specific strategies at block level. Farmers collective with value addition, powerful business model for income increase for small and marginal farmers. Lessons from Operation Flood for transforming agriculture and food systems. Sustainable food production. Agriculture marketing in India defects therein and remedial measures, if any. Small-scale fisheries and their contribution to rural livelihoods, case studies from developing countries. Impacting lives through livelihood promotion and value chain development, case study of Meerut impact model. Organic spices cultivation for doubling of farmers' income in the northeastern region of India, a value chain analysis. Agriculture exports management, imperatives of integrating with global value chain at the earliest. Agriculture value chain challenges and opportunities. Dairy husbandry for food security and national prosperity. Mushroom cultivation, a way towards self-reliance from agriculture waste and providing nutritional food security to the nation. Subhas Palekar natural farming, future of farming rooted in Indian tradition. Vision 2025, agriculture and allied sectors viewpoint by Dr. Shivakumar Magada, Professor and Dean, College of Fisheries, Mangalore. Doubling income of tribal families through value chain intervention on minor forest producer. A case study on custard apple value chain from Udaipur, Rajasthan. Unity Agri Internet in farmlands, key for prosperous farmers. Jackfruit informatics network value chain and needed digital infrastructure for increasing farmers' income. Doubling of farmers' income through integrated agriculture value chain. Potential role of minor fruits in achieving nutritional and livelihood security. Fisheries Informatics Network value chain, a case study from Manja Technologies. Untapped potential for growth. Co-create solutions to realize gains for farms, households, and communities. Neem tree, sustainable solutions to livelihood, chemical-free nutritious food, and global warming. One district, one product informatics network value chain, the key to unlocking India's potential of agri exports. Village e-commerce, changes, challenges, barriers, and potentials in rural India. Export potential promotion of GI tagged agriculture products from India, issues, challenges, and potentials. Doubling Indian farmers' income through indigenous cows. Opportunities and challenges. Livestock insurance ecosystem, a necessity for smallholder farmers in India. Innovative future farming, a need for design of agriculture. This talk was postponed due to by the request of the speaker. Empowering rural farmers by co-creating value-added producers, products, and agri-techpreneurs perspective. Empowering rural farmers by co-creating value-added products and agri-techpreneur perspective. Food value chain issues, challenges, and potentials. Animal health industry, quality, innovation, talent, and technology have power to transform. Today is the 90th edition of this national webinar series, which will be addressed by Professor Dr. Mahantesh B. Patil, ex-professor plant pathology, University of Agriculture Science, Raichur, Karnataka, and presently President, Ayodhya Agriculture Academy Private Limited, Koppal, Karnataka. And a very important topic, farm-linked activities and secondary agriculture, empowering small and marginal farmers of India. Dear participants, please note down the keywords. Farm-linked activities, secondary agriculture, empowerment, small and marginal farmers. India is a land of villages. Acharya Vinoba Bhave said, India is largely an agrarian economy, agricultural country, Krishi Pradhan Desh, and a country of villages, Kram Pradhan Desh, having more than 6.25 lakh villages. It employs more than 50% of the India's workforce, contributes about 19% of GDP. Climate change has introduced direct and indirect effects of agricultural productivity, including changing rainfall patterns, severe drought, flooding, and changes in the geographical redistribution of pests and diseases. Farmers of India are facing multidimensional problems, price fluctuation, debt, and lack of infrastructure and weather. Indian farming community comprises of about 14.5 crores operational holdings, of which 85% of the farmers are having small and marginal sized operational holding, having less than 2 hectares of land. Farmer needs timely, location specific, and personalized information for effective control on their production risk and then market their produce to identified market opportunities. And Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi at the 7th Governing Council meeting of the Niti Aayog held on 7th August 2022 in New Delhi, in his opening address, he stressed the need to focus on modernized agriculture. The need to focus on modernized agriculture, modernized animal husbandry, and modernized food processing. to become self-sufficient and global leader in the agriculture. And in his closing remarks of this seventh governing council meeting of Niti Aayog, he said, I quote, each state should focus on promoting trade, tourism, and technology via every Indian mission around the world. The states must focus on reducing imports, increasing exports, and identifying opportunities thereof. And it is a very important remarks he made it in the governing council meeting of Niti Aayog. I also would like to quote the recommendation of the Doubling Farmers Income Committee report submitted to the government in September 2018. I was closely associated with this committee, and I was the group leader for two volumes, volume 11 and volume 12b. Volume 11 talks about empowering the farmers through extension and knowledge dissemination and ICT. And volume 12b talks about digital technology in agriculture. The digital technology in agriculture talks about 7 mission mode programs: digitalized agriculture, synergization of digital technology and innovation in agriculture, Digital India, Make in India, Skill India, Startup India programs for transformational reforms in agriculture sector, smart irrigated farming, smart rainfed farming, and smart tribal farming, digitalized agromet advisories and agricultural risk management solutions, digitalized agricultural resources management systems and micro level planning for achieving smart village and smart farming, digitalized value chain for about 400 agriculture commodities, digitalized access to inputs, technology, knowledge, skill, agricultural finance, credit, marketing, and agribusiness management to farmers, digitalized integrated land and water management systems, and digitalized farm health management for reduction of farmers' loss. This involves seeing the data, health data, farmers' data, public health, plant health, animal health, soil health, water health, fish health, and environmental health on using a GIS layer, using big data analytics, and over on a village level layer. It's very important, and this is a $1 trillion data economy. And I foresee that maybe 10 years from now, India can have a data center with 5,000 data scientists working on this integrated health data alone. I have been voicing since 2011 when I presented a paper in this regard in the National Indian Agriculture Science Congress held in Lucknow. Atmanirbhar Bharat is the road ahead. It is a vision of our Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, of making India a self-reliant nation, rested on 5 I's: intent, inclusion, investment, infrastructure, and innovation. And vocal for local and make in India for global. And these reforms announced have been systematic, planned, and integrated, interconnected, and futuristic for creating strong enterprises, generating employment, and robust supply chain. This is our intent. And Amrit Kal led up to 100. How India will be on or at 2047, that is 100th year of independence. And they have, government of India has come out with a strategic plan for the next 25 years, that is from India at 75 to India at 100. That period is called Amrit Kal. And it also has that vision based on complementing the macroeconomic level growth, focus with a microeconomic level on inclusive welfare focus, promoting digital economy and fintech, technology enabled development, energy transition, and climate action, and relying on virtuous cycle starting from private investment with public capital investment helping to crowd in private investment. And I also would like to quote Prime Minister's historic Independence Day speech given on 15th August 2022. He named 5 pillars for India's development, 5 pledges for 2047. He called it Panch Prawn. First prawn, the goal of developed India. The developed India is, it's Vikshit Bharat, removing any sign of servility, that is, remove any trace of colonial mindset. Second prawn. Third prawn, take pride in our roots. Fourth prawn, unity. And then fifth prawn, citizen duty, fulfill our duties. And then urging the citizens to focus on Panch Prawn to make India a developed nation in 25 years. Today's India is an aspirational society. India is mother of democracy and diversity is its strength. We salute the architects of free India who significantly contributed to the India's freedom. United Nations has given Sustainable Development Goals, 17 Sustainable Development Goals, and 169 associated targets to be achieved. To attain, that is included in the Agenda 2030, which promises us the future we want. Farm-linked activities, secondary agriculture, empowering small and marginal farmers in India. That is today's topic. I would like to quote something, some relevant portion from the Doubling Farmers' Income by 2022. Dalwai Committee recommendations are available in 14 volumes. Demand-driven agricultural logistics system, developing hub and spoke system, market intelligence systems, agriculture value systems, farmer-centric national agriculture marketing systems, promoting sustainable agriculture, effective input management, interfacing production through productivity, farm-linked activities, agricultural risk assessment and management, empowering farmers, research and development and ICT, and structural and governance reforms in agriculture. And then the final volume is for the recommendations for the policymakers. Farming systems, it has got traditional systems component, semi-commercial system component, and commercial system component. Traditional system has got shifting cultivation and related bush fallow system and nomadic herding. Semi-commercial systems includes cropping systems and mixed systems, and commercial systems include perennial crops and livestock. Based primarily on nature of land, climatic characteristic, and available irrigational facilities, the farmers in India practice different types of farming. This is, according to the website civilsdaily.com. Subsistence farming, shifting agriculture, plantation agriculture, intensive farming, dry agriculture, dryland farming, mixed and multiple agriculture, crop rotation, and terrace cultivation. There are general activities form the part of agricultural practices: preparation of soil, sowing, adding manure and fertilizer, irrigation, protecting from weeds, harvesting, and storage. These are all the main activities which are being done on farm. Farm activity means the cultivation of farmland for the production of crops, fruits, vegetables, ornamental and flowering plants, and the utilization of farmland for the production of dairy, livestock, poultry, and all other forms of agricultural products having a domestic or foreign market. What is the difference between on-farm, off-farm, and non-farm activity? Diversification issues can be considered in terms of resource, land, labor, and capital, location, on-farm or on-farm, and output, farm or non-farm. Cultivation of crops and other farming-related activities are considered farming activities, while industry and services are considered non-farming activities. Let us turn to secondary agriculture. Then what is primary and secondary agriculture? Primary agricultural goods are untreated products which come directly from nature or from the primary sector. Secondary agricultural goods are treated products and preparations from primary agricultural goods. Together, these form the main definition of agricultural goods. Secondary agriculture and bioprocessing. Secondary agriculture is defined as a production activity and devised a strategy that includes sustainability of production, monetization of farm produce, strengthening of extension service, and recognizing agriculture as an enterprise. Secondary agriculture plays a significant role in making a positive impact of a country's economy. It has potential to increase the value of primary agriculture. It ensures better utilization of renewable agro-bio resources, either through value addition or waste utilization. Nurseries, biofertilizers, biopesticides, fruit-based products, compost, agrotourism, weaving, flavors, and dyes are some of the avenues of secondary agriculture. Byproducts from agriculture crops like wheat and rice bran, corn, gluten meal, and germ, pulses meal and husk, and sugarcane bagasse, if processed appropriately for deriving industrial products, could pave a way in getting better economic returns from agriculture rather than using them as livestock feed. The market potential of agro produce seems to be naive but opportunistic in near future. The advancement in technologies, equipment, and processes would enable enhanced secondary agriculture practices, giving range of materials of better quality, yield, nutrition, and convenience. Hence, the potential of secondary agriculture and bioprocessing would be strong boost to the economy, social status, and environmental protection. So this is given in an article written by S.K. Yadav, Kauldar, Sandhu, and etc. in paper titled Retrospects and Prospects of Secondary Agriculture and Bioprocessing, published in Journal of Plant Biochemical and Bioethanol, etc. Non-farming producing activities are related to those economic activities that do not directly relate to agriculture activities. Generally, marginal farmers and land laborers are getting benefit from these activities, which provide them a good source of income and employment. Non-farming activities include handicrafts, small-scale manufacturing, both domestic and non-domestic, construction, mining, quarrying, repair, transportation, and community services, and so on and so forth. And I would like to quote extensively from the comprehensive policy recommendations of the doubling farmers' income, which are discussed in detail, the recommendation given in various volumes, that the 13 volumes. In the 14th volume, the committee has given comprehensive policy recommendation. In chapter 8, which talks about secondary agriculture activities, it gives about 35 recommendations. And I would like to list for the benefits of the participants some few. In the opinion of Doubling Farmers' Income Committee, the secondary agriculture should be described first as an activity that can be considered as a cottage industry, as a family-based activity, and also as a village-level enterprise at a scale that contributes to the economic well-being of the village communities. That's the first. Secondly, as a large enterprise that is integrated into its neighborhood in terms of input resources, either for its raw material or its manpower. Hence, secondary agriculture is defined as a productive activity at the enterprise level that utilizes as raw material the primary product and byproducts of agriculture and other biological resources available locally in its rural agrarian neighborhood, and or deploys locally available skills or a higher level of rural manpower to operate, manage, and maintain the production of goods and services can be categorized appropriately under the Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise Development Act 2006 and under the Khadi and Village Industries Act. There is a need to promote secondary agricultural activities whose output can be in the nature of either value-added goods or services that help the primary actors to capture more value from its primary produce, grain, fruit, vegetable, milk, fish, fiber, etc., and or from the byproducts, straw, stock, biomass, etc. And also, this committee brings focus on various such farm-linked activities in the backdrop of importance of income generation in the rural areas, especially activities are farm-linked and the various options that are available to increase the efficiency of factor of production. Efficiency of factor of production, land, labor, and capital that are currently deployed in India's agriculture. This is a very important recommendation. The provision of alternative means of livelihoods in rural areas, especially when these are directly linked to the core activity of agriculture, will not only supplement the existing income levels of farming household, but also abet and enhance the value captured from agriculture itself. Farm-linked economic activities at near-farm locations need to be promoted, especially those are at simple to deploy, easy to replicate, and readily serviceable. Secondary agriculture systems should ensure that secondary income, that is a non-farm income growth, is intrinsically linked, complements, and supports the community's on-farm income. Agricultural input industry is skill and capital intensive, and the products manufactured elsewhere are moving to rural areas with a net capital drain out of rural areas. This calls for promotion of agricultural input production activity as an enterprise in the rural areas. I do not know how many state governments for the last 4 years have undertaken this recommendation of the committee to promote agricultural input industry at the village level. This calls for promotion of agriculture input production activity as an enterprise in the rural areas. Partnerships between research and development agencies with the farmer produce organization and local manufacturing clusters to promote enterprises working in the agricultural inputs area all should be promoted. Primary rural agriculture markets, Gramin agriculture markets, that is primary rural agriculture markets, that is Gramin agriculture markets, are market platforms where producers gets preconditioned and prepared for transfer to markets. This productive activity not only helps farmers capture greater value, but also provides employment to the local populace, and their development must be fast-tracked. 4 years are over. State governments should identify and develop time-bound plans for co-hosting these Gramin agriculture markets at the rural hearts and to train rural youths, especially women, to run the retail market linked initiatives, aggregation and packaging of produce, sale produce transaction, operating of online connectivity, and managing of agri-logistics. A separate cell should be created under the aegis of secondary agriculture under Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyaya Unnat Krishi Shiksha scheme to promote value additions on wastes and residues like from coconut and banana. Pre-processing units at family and village level. Secondary agriculture should be recognized as an important domain of research pursuit in INSPIRE, Innovation in Science Pursuit for Inspired Research Program. Secondary agriculture as an independent and important field of work that bridges primary agriculture and other economic activities, and the committee recommends all the 3 departments of Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare, Department of Agriculture Cooperation and Farmer Welfare, Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairying and Fisheries, and Department of Agricultural Research and Education may create a division on secondary agriculture. And it's very important of the establishment of integrated agriculture value chain for these 400 agriculture commodities are very important. And agenda for creation of localized and sustainable value chain of say 1000 farmers on an average would require 100,000 such enterprises to cover 100 million farmers. This is the recommendation by Dr. S.K. Goyal, former Additional Chief Secretary to Government of Maharashtra, in his address in the National Webinar Series on Doubling Farmers' Income by 2022 on 5th March 2022. It's very important. There are a lot of agri startups can come. Agri startup, food startup, technology startup, digital marketing startup, horticulture startup, e-commerce startup, organic startup, agri inputs startup, farm tech startup, dairy startup, poultry startup, fishery startup, retailing startup, startup investors and startup incubators. It has to happen in the Gram Panchayat level, not at the IIT, engineering colleges, and IIMs. Secondary agriculture, the shift Indian farming needs, is an article by an assistant professor from Indian Institute of Management, Lucknow. And he says that there is a threefold strategy. He quotes heavily from the Ashok Dalwai committee report. And it says it quotes that it devised a fourfold strategy: sustainability of production, monetization of farmers' produce, strengthening of extension services, and recognizing agriculture as an enterprise and enabling it to operate as such by addressing various structural weaknesses. And then also he quotes 3 avenues have been identified, that adequately help utilize capital, utilize human resources, and utilize technology, and utilize organizational capitals, and also built-in risk management. Type A, value addition to primary agriculture production system. Value addition to the primary agriculture production system. Alternative enterprises, but linked to rural off-farm activities. Type C, enterprise that thrive on crop residues and waste materials of primary agriculture. And he said that to promote agricultural entrepreneurship or agricultural enterprises, there is a recognition of priority structure status for institutional credit, low-cost skilling, and knowledge-based exposure of farming communities, specialized extension services for enterprises owned by females, priority under rural electrification objective, fast-track procedures to avail benefits under the ongoing central sector schemes, label geographically indicated GI tag for products of village scale secondary agriculture. This is a very important recommendation. And also he quotes Indian Council of Agricultural Research in association with the World Bank has initiated a national agriculture higher education project, 165 million funding support during 2017 and 18 for a 5-year period to promote skill development and agri entrepreneurship amongst the graduates of agriculture colleges. Apart from institutional development and innovation funding to education. And we have to see that it would have been over by this now. And how many agriculture graduates have been made as startups rather than getting into agriculture offices in bank and agriculture offices in the government department. That goes the success of this World Bank funded project in India. And this is from his article. With this basic understanding, let us now turn to the address by Professor Dr. Mahantesh B. Patil, ex-professor plant pathology, University of Agriculture Science, Raichur, Karnataka, on a very important topic, farm-linked activities and secondary agriculture empowering small and marginal farmers in India. Today's topic will motivate and galvanize the participants watching our telecast through facebook.com/Shobhit University India, or youtube.com/Shobhit University in, or linkedin.com/company/Shobhit University for establishing agriculture value chain startup, agri-tech startup at the Gram Panchayat level. One such startup in per Gram Panchayat to promote and sustain vocal for local to make it global. Let us unlock the opportunities in India at the earliest. Country requires 2.25 lakh agri-tech startup, one for each Gram Panchayat. Let me introduce the guest speaker to the audience. Mr. Manish. Dr. Mahantesh B. Patil, PhD, has been an accomplished professor of plant pathology and an expert in precision agriculture at the University of Agriculture Science, Raichur, Karnataka, for the past 26 years in teaching, research, and extension in agriculture and allied sciences. And he was also head of the Plant Pathology Division and later Agriculture Extension Education Center, Koppal, Karnataka, where he took voluntary retirement from service in July 2022. Born and brought up in Kustagi of Koppal districts in Karnataka in a teacher farming family, Patil got his primary and higher secondary education there and then graduated from College of Agriculture, Dharwad, Karnataka in agricultural science and later MSc and PhD in plant pathology with gold medal as best outgoing student. After serving in Central Silk Board, Bangalore for 5 years as senior research assistant, he enters into University of Agriculture Science, Dharwad, Raichur and completes 26 years of service as assistant professor to professor. Dr. Patil went to Colorado State University, USA as a visiting scientist to Dr. Khosla Lab on precision agriculture. He has guided 15 students to MSc Agriculture and 5 students to PhD in plant pathology as chairman and served as member to many postgraduate students. He brought research project grant over 2.5 crore through Rashtriya RKVY, KSDA, KSDH, and government oblique private agencies. He headed RKVY funded precision agriculture projects, which was a first in kind in Karnataka. RKVY funded precision agriculture projects and Raichur as a nodal center for other 2 agriculture universities in the state. And his noted contribution to the field, including setting up a geospatially enabled research lab and introducing a course for MSc in precision farming, precision agriculture at the University of Agricultural Science, Raichur. He is also specialized in biocontrol, soil-borne diseases, and transdisciplinary approaches in teaching, research, and outreach programs of plant pathology in particular and agriculture in general. He has authored good number of book chapters too, referred to scientific publication 30, manuscripts 10, conference proceeding 30, extension publication 10, popular press notes 25, and radio and TV talks 50. Dr. Patil has organized 3 national and 4 regional conferences in precision agriculture and given invited talks and presented research papers in India, abroad, USA, China, France, Malaysia, Nepal. I also would like to quote, very important other information. He is a fellow of Indian Phytopathological Society, New Delhi, and recipient of Award of Honor in Precision Agriculture from International Society of Precision Agriculture, USA, and Punjab Agriculture University, Ludhiana. He is a member, annual and live to several professional societies and institutions, India and abroad. He is a Paul Harris Fellow of Rotary International. With this, I welcome Professor Mahantesh Patil to the today's national webinar series on doubling farmers' income by 2022, Atmanirbhar Bharat in agriculture, to talk on extensively on farm-linked activities and secondary agriculture, how to empower small and marginal farmers in India, how to generate a lot of agri startups on this topic in every Gram Panchayat. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Very kind of you for your invitation. First of all, I'm very much grateful to respected Professor Moni, sir, and Honorable Chancellor of the Shobhit University, and also getting technical linkage by Manish. This is a great opportunity for me to share some of my views and the information collected by many articles and many talks and the speech experts, especially by Dr. Ashok Dalwai and all other scientists in nation and abroad. And also, I feel very proud to say that Shobhit University is doing a parallel national service to the nation and the nationalist by sharing a wonderful knowledge and the experience of so many experts available in our country and abroad. Really, it is highly acknowledged and appreciated by everyone. And I too have learned many things from the series. Especially on Thursday, you are conducting an agriculture. It goes like a Guruvani. Okay, so with this note, let me start with this topic. It's a very, very big topic. I will try to link more of the farm linked activities rather than the non-farming sector. Then coming series, Professor Moni sir accepts, then we'll go one by one, the different, because it is a huge volume. To start with, see, in general, because I know that many students are also joining this talk. Therefore, let me put it in a very simple way rather than going more technical or policy things. So, when you talk about India's economic sector, generally agriculture comes in the primary sector, and the secondary sector goes to industry, and tertiary goes to different services. Then we do have quaternary, where it is the knowledge based one, and quinary is above all the national service. So when you come to the primary sector as a agriculture, let me put it across everybody that, see, India, we have got farms in primary agriculture, secondary agriculture, and also tertiary agriculture. All the three are already going on, knowingly or unknowingly, by many farmers or farmer institutions. Now, one good format has come to put what activity in what zone. Because when you talk on this primary agriculture, it's just production of raw materials necessary for the next level, whether it goes back to the farm as a manure, or the nutrition enabling factor, or any other soil enabling factor, and also the food for the animals, for the birds, for the human beings, or for the industry resource. So these are all things there in the secondary agriculture. And especially secondary agriculture means it assumes the prominence with respect to the most important today's honorable prime minister and entire his team is making a note on the doubling farmers income, because everybody says farmers in India, they farm not on demand, it is as a tradition. So yes, we are a traditional farmers. It is high time to elevate their incomes, their knowledge, and their share in the country's development by doubling their farms income or the farmers income by all the activities quoted under secondary agriculture. And the most important part of the secondary agriculture also looks into the climate change adapt every day to day basis. I can say hour by hour, we are looking to the climate and change in the climate. Okay, earlier change in the climate was there, but the speed it took now due to so many natural and the man-made activities, it is going beyond our control. So that mitigation to be looked into by adopting some of the principles by the secondary agriculture. And the most important part, whenever somebody says some technology has come, some advanced things have come, whenever it comes to the India or any other South Asian countries, it is the farm size, the small farm, and its viability, and how to make that technology to work in this small farm, and how to make it profitable for both the technology vendor as well as the technology receiver, like farm or farm institution. Then, as you know, since beginning 47, we are looking into the food security, nutritional security, income security of the country, how the secondary agriculture takes a prominence through food security. Because a lot of we are called as foodie country, so we do have several diversities, variations in our food taste and the food quality, quantity, and the timing, and the availability of that food to the last man of the country or the last reach of the country. And that has to be looked under the secondary agriculture. And overall, we must make these all the natural resources. One quote is there: the heaviest part of the Indian this hydrorism means the water. Highest rainfall is there in India, and the highest amount of water wasted also in India only. So we must look into the most important resource of the nature is the water. So, and the soil and the nutrients and all other factors. So we must make a very optimized use of these natural resources to have a better agriculture. That is a primary part of the agriculture, so that the secondary agriculture can be equipped well by the optimized use of these primary agriculture activities. And we need to promote the secondary agriculture because with the implication that we must attain the sustainable development goals. Already Professor Moni sir has made it very clear in his preamble about why a secondary agriculture and why what is the lookout of the sustainable agriculture through sustainable development goals. And also we need to aim to connect to all the three. Already I told, knowingly or unknowingly, our farmers or the farm companies or the private organizations, they are into all the three sectors, but only we need to connect them because it's a very big value chain linkage on the earth, agriculture. So we need to look into all the primary, secondary, and the tertiary sectors. So when you call this value addition to primary agriculture, is all three windows are there. One is based on the input centric, second one is the output centric, and the third one is the alternative enterprises. Those who are tired, feel tired or feel exhausted in the primary input or the output centric, they are going for these alternative enterprises. And there is a big scope for alternative farming. Okay, farming is a very generous term, but it can be farmed with anything which is available on the earth to convert it into food or into a commerce. So, and the final one is the waste and the residues. Many a times we call it as a waste, but I personally feel there is nothing waste in agriculture as such. There may be waste in other sectors, but in agriculture it is only the remains. Okay, the end products of the agriculture, we must look the value of that. What is left over in that residue can be converted into wealth. So we can get so many examples, either in the small scale or in the middle scale or in the large scale. We our farmers have been doing this one since ages. So see, before we stretch into some of the examples of secondary agriculture in farm-linked activities, let me go back to the origin of this, the think tank, how it started. Everything happened. Three important stages in Indian agriculture, as we know. That one is the 1947, the independence. Second one is 1960 period, that is the Green Revolution. Then the third most important revolution was in 1991 when the world was opened as such. India also, that's a liberalized economy, big gateway was there. Then we are seeing after 2014 the big change in Indian uh, uh, structure or the policy or the planning. So automatically, when we are opening our gates to the world, we must be internationally competitive, either for the market or for the efficiency. Efficiency relates to the quality of the product, the time of supply, and the mode of supply. Okay, and the guarantee of that product, how it reaches the last customer. So automatically, there is a trend that we need to shift from the staple food crops to the commercial crops, because a staple food crop in India may be a specialty crop for abroad or overseas, and their food crop, staple food crop, may be a commercial crop for us. There is a great exchange of material, there is a great exchange of technology, thinking, everything is there. So we must be ready. We must change our gears, okay, according to the change in the global scenario. And there is also important aspect of this livestock and fisheries farming, because we know that on the earth, the farming means it is the livestock farming, it is the animal farming rather than the crops farming. So there is lot of scope and also development in the livestock and this marine farming. And we need to move, already I have made it gradual move. There must be from high value agriculture to the, I mean, from the subsistence farming, because our farmer being innocent and not exposed much to the global agriculture trend. So it is the duty of everybody that he must or she must get or realize some high value through that small unit of subsistence farming. And when we make some respectful production and respectful structure of our farming, automatically the world will come back to us in the form of FDI. There is a lot of discussion going on this foreign this thing, direct investment. So it is a very big boon to Indian. Already we have crossed that the ambiguity of making business easy in India. Okay, the success rate is going high. At the same time, being agriculture is the major economic activity in India, we get a lot of FDI opportunities from the overseas entrepreneurs. And the most important part in secondary agriculture is the education and the awareness, okay, to the ongoing agriculture farmers or their kids and kins, and even other youths, where there is a lot of opportunity to get them into the farming as well as the off-farm employment. Already Moni sir has put it, in non-farming activity, there is no end for it, because you can enter even value chain supplier, app developer, or the fintech facility, so whatnot. So in that, those who are not interested, our farmers says, my son or my daughter is not interested in agriculture, let them not be, but show them the path, okay, how to promote this farming activity by entering into non-farm activity like technology pusher, or the technology adopter, or technology connector. So this is very important. And finally, yes, we do have this variability in our farm income. There must be good activity through secondary agriculture, the profit sharing, so that we can bring down that variation, okay, and try to sustain that activity by reducing this variability. Because farm to farm, farmer to farmer, even tahsil to tahsil, we find a lot of variability in our farming. Because I have experienced during my precision agriculture project, this time I must um, I take my teacher's name, Dr. VC Patil, as Moni sir already put it. He only introduced me to precision agriculture, and I could do some justice at for my knowledge to the project and the farmers. We did that precision agriculture project to start with variability in the farm. Okay, with the nutrients, with the natural resources, we did conduct in 100 acres under farmer participatory program. 100 acres in cotton, 100 acres in paddy, 100 acres in pigeon pea, in the ecosystem of the crops, not like in farms. And I mean, university farms. University farms, we have had the experimental one, big, small one. But at the farmers level, by involving farmers, we have conducted all the operations of precision farming through farmers only. So that has quoted very well, received very well by many universities abroad. Even in America, it was published on the front page by the Crops and Soils magazine, and they took our interview also through Skype. That time it was 2010. They took the interview of our farmers. So how it is possible in India precision farming? So like this, there is a big success story of that project. So why we need this one? Because there is a lot of discussions are going on the secondary agriculture and the empowering committee members. Because see, one unit is there. Always I consider farm as the institution of the farmer. Okay, and the farmer is the sole responsible person for that produce to come out or the income to be realized. So the available quantity of the farm or the structure of the farm, we must make that fold into several categories. Which is the best fitting one, which is not at all fitting one. If it is not a producible part of the farm, let us not meddle with that. We leave it for some non-farm activity where you can raise the crop and get the best out of the crop. You go for the cropping. So this is the advice, and that is highlighted in the secondary agriculture. And as usual, we know that there must be some step ahead in enhancing this rural and urban economy. There is a lot of disparity, because there is attraction from rural to urban. So we need to what you call, we must strive hard to realize our ex-president Bharat Ratna Dr. Abdul Kalam's aspiration, that is Pura. Okay, the providing urban amenities in the rural areas, so that the rural village sector should become real India, and there is a life in rural India. So this secondary agriculture automatically takes back us to that rural enterprise level, and to giving. I have seen my farmers. If you say them A, they have that capacity to reach to Z. Only thing is how you convince him or her, and how you educate them. That is very important. So now we have got an opportunity through secondary agriculture concept to reach every farmer. And there is a lot of distress in village community, farming community. There is a gradual farm size decreasing because of our family structures. For example, I too had almost 200 plus acres when I was a child. Now I am left with only 15 acres because of the family size. So many members, and the production. So yes, there is a scope. Whenever the challenges are more, automatically there is a growth. Okay, so we should not go to the comfort zone that as I am okay. No, we are not okay. So and therefore, and there are a lot of agro industries are coming worldwide. Therefore, we need to adopt to this import policy, export policy, and we must try to get the best of the best available on the earth. Although we make a lot of declarations, local to global, but if it is available in any global scenario, if it is a good technology, good advice, or good piece of material, we must get into our country. We must embrace it first, then master it, then we have to realize in our uh, conditions. So therefore, we need to deregulate this what you call the entire activity, so that we can join hands with many good people to make India bright. Then some of the government initiatives they took back in 2006-7. Everybody knows it. There was a taxa, that is Technical Advisory Committee, headed by Professor Verma of USA on secondary agriculture. So a lot of things have been put into that, and whatever the constraints, opportunities, and the potentiality were there in building this world-class secondary agriculture have been taken into considerations. And there were so many questions while developing that committee report: what, why, who, when, and where. Okay, with all advancement in many fields, even in India, country like India, we still struggle with all these five whys. Always it will be there, and it is an indication of growth also. And that time, government of India has come forward to invest almost nearing $2 billion. So therefore, that time, all think tanks joined hands, and they have created this SIF and VC, that is venture capital, and also they thought of integrated bioprocessing technology institute. So like this, there were so many angel funds. There was scope for raising these angel funds, and private angel funds, and small company development. So this all went on like this, and project financing was also finalized that time. In second phase, like this, they have met several times and made so good efforts in order to bring to some structure, or the what you call some skeleton of this secondary agricultural policy, by thorough analysis and identifying this that time the status of activities with how they are linked to each sector of India, where the growth is happening, where is the demand, and where is the supply demand balance is there. So like this, they have evaluated some case studies also, by looking into the quality and the value of so many products. And that time, some technology solutions, not like today, they were available. They wanted to rejoin them in the particular gaps of this production and the product making. Like this, in third phase also, the most important one was the impediments. That time, India was not developed to that level, because it is a matter of 15-16 years back. Especially fintech facility, credit lending, and the technology access to technology, and this IT boom. It was not there that much during that period. So they tested several impediments, what is happening. And the most important one, sometimes experts say it is better to import the technology or the product rather than going for production on your own scale, because it crosses that cost. So they also tried this underperforming industries, how to solve those problems of underperformance, what were the bottlenecks. Okay, and they have evaluated the some of those industries, and some of them were closed down, almost they have reached the closed down stage, and they have converted them into different activities of the industries, and indirectly or direct impact on the rural sector. They have considered that point. Finally, they have suggested as a vehicle, to implement all these changes, either the government level or at the private, especially by targeting the rural part. So some of the recommendations that time they have done and now carry forward also. The most important one is the strengthening and expansion of the secondary agriculture, and its linkage is very, very important. Many times we see industries, they work in silos, the primary production goes in silos, and our technologists and technocrats, they work in silos. This all happening. These dots should be connected well. Okay, that is the real work to be done nowadays. And there are so many connecting platforms in the form of apps, in the form of several companies. Youths are coming forward to connect these gaps, so that bridging technology through, I mean, bridging gaps through technology and the mutual respect, mutual trust, that could be happen through secondary agriculture proportions. So there is a greater need for nexus between these institutes and bioresource industries and financial. Very important in India is the finance. So that how best you can ease out this financial procedure, it's very important, so that farmers will have greater sigh of relief. More than the technology or more than the availability of the technology, they spend huge time on this finance. So now a lot of fintechs have come in, customizing our needs, Indian typical farmer mental setup. Many I can quote here. Samunnati is there, like this. So many fintech people are there, experts are there. They are helping hand for the farmers. And yes, there is a greater voice on this, changing the course, the curriculum pattern in ICR and SAU setup. Whatever happened, but now this education policy, new education policy has come. In that, a lot of dean's committee efforts have been made to change this exposure of our agriculture students, engineering faculty, to this changing environment in the agriculture. Experiential learning pattern has been changed. There are efforts are going on, and so many new institutes with new thinking are there as the hopes of this. And the most important part, always I personally feel, it is the private public partnership. Okay, by taking into confidence the primary producer, that is the farmer. Because whatever we do, we must take him into confidence or her into confidence before we shoot any policy or the part of the policy. Because without keeping them aside and developing our own partnership, our own thinking, nothing happens at the end. That should not happen. So the technology development, the commercialization, and that transformation takes place with the investment funding. It should be done in a very systematic way and a very mutual gain. Okay, always people say it is a win-win in agriculture. I say it is a win, lose, and win. This lose refers to the positive part, is the transformation. Okay, so therefore I put is WLW, because if something goes down, then something will come up. Just like a seed gets converted into seedling, seedling loses its seedling phase into adult plant. So there must be a change. As Lord Krishna told, change is inevitable. So automatically, by looking to all those things, we need to develop this very crucial and delicate partnership, like private and the public sector. Definitely, Government of India has come forward with all other states governments to change this attitude and to overcome some of the bureaucratic or the financial hurdles. And the most important one under the Purva concept also, it was there, the rural industrialization. Already non-farm activities were too good in some of the artifacts that were developing from the rural India. Now farm and the farm activities need to find a good place in this rural sector, rural enterprise. So because there is a lot of scope, especially for women. 75% of the Indian farming is shouldered by the women of the family. 25% only the men of the family. So we all know that even starting from a simple sowing to the harvest, women are must in our Indian agriculture. So women led or women concentrated enterprises at the village level, considering the farm linked activities, it will be a good boon to the rural economy. When the rural people are satisfied, whole India is satisfied. So therefore I say there must be a continuous bombardment, I can say, on the capacity building of these farmers for the education, and who are educated, we have to push them from primary to secondary. Whenever my farmers, they ask, sir, my son is there, what he should do, whether should carry, for example, pigeon pea, tur pigeon pea, when they are growing, I say, you have grown enough pigeon pea, now make your son as the entrepreneur of pigeon pea. Okay, you have produced the seed, let him produce the next product of the seed, either flour or the seed related any secondary value, so that he will also enjoy his work and he will also continue your work. This is how we need to create a lot of educational perspective. In the coming slides, I will cover that. So next one. Yes. See, this is always, it is there in a public system to connect and coordinate all these activities. But there will be some limitations always. Either is the central or the state agency. There will be a lot of activities other than this. So what I feel, personally, I feel it should be an independent agency. Okay, already government of Karnataka has come forward under the advice of Dr. Ashok Dalwai to already set up secondary agriculture body or the office or something like that structure. But it should have exclusively looking into that kind of activities only, not connecting any other activity to that. So it should be targeted. Then only we can realize many things. At the same time, already I have made this curriculum. Okay, at the state agriculture universities, as I have undergone as a professor in plant pathology, I know the difficulties in developing syllabus or completing the syllabus or making the students aware of the things in a short period like semester. We must do justice in changing this kind of new part of education, new part of teaching, or new part of exposure to the students, especially to make them a very good successful businessman or the technocrat or the entrepreneur. So a lot of courses have to be done under secondary agriculture. And let me come to the latest part of the secondary agriculture is, as already Moni sir told, it's the Ashok Dalwai committee report. So committee makes a very clear definition of the secondary agriculture as the production activity at enterprise or the farm level, and it should be devised a fourfold strategy that is quoted by several authors, even by Indian Institute of Management, Indian Institute of Science, and even some of the entrepreneurs, that sustainability of production. You see, Hindi mein we say bahana chahiye. We need some step to look into our production aspect. Okay, secondary agriculture is a just part of our change of think process. When secondary agriculture get promoted, when the product taking people are there in front of our gate, we must be very cautious to give the best product to them. Automatically the production sustainability comes, because we also make very optimal use of our inputs, optimal use of natural resources, and the very quality production. So this is indirectly related to the what you call upliftment of the primary activities, that awareness is there. Always a farmer, if he grades his products, okay, and gives to the production level, next production level, automatically he will be regarded as the best farmer. So this is how it's going step one back, by releasing the tir, arrow. So automatically they go back and they leave it like this. This is sustainability of the production. When sustainability comes, automatically there will be a monetary benefit to that. People in India, I have seen, not bother for the price, but for the quality. So this is how there will be a monetization of this produce. And when these two things happen, automatically the most bridging part is the extension. Extension involves effective communication. It's very important. So we have got so many languages in India, and so many people loving languages to talk. So definitely extension is not a big problem in India, and because by our extension communication only we got our freedom back. Therefore, in farming also we can make several reorganizational structures and recognizing the efforts. And even ICR also with the World Bank, already Moni sir has put it, that is NAHEP has come, a lot of funding has gone in, and very good successful programs have been conducted under ICR in different SAUs and different ICR institutions. The most important one is the skill. Indian skill is regarded very high after China in abroad, because this development of this skill and this entrepreneurship quality among all the graduates. Graduate need not be a BS degree or MS degree. It is even diploma. Sometimes diploma holders, they perform better than the PhD fellows if they are exposed well and if they are experienced well. So the person who gives that exposure is very important. The teacher, or maybe mentor, or maybe a coach. So that part we must treat well and develop that teaching faculty very strong. This under NAHP, they have done justice to that job. And whenever person to institution, automatically when the person grows, institution also grows. So institution to then innovation is never ending. I say innovation is by minute to minute. What is happening today or by now, it may not happen after 1 minute. It may change, okay, or it may get transformed. So therefore, this innovation is the big tool for our new thinking. We must be always innovative. Until unless we are not into innovative process, everything will be a standard thing. So, and canvas is too big. I already told it. It's a huge, and it can range from so many introduction of new crops, the change in the production aspect, organic, natural, conservational, marine farming, like this, and now a lot of scope on the herbal and medicinal crops to be manufactured and their end products. That is the tertiary part. Then there are all building blocks. I told one is availability, another the accessibility of the good food or the nutritional food. Okay, food for man, food for animal, food for the bird, or food for the natural creatures. So how best we can composite these fibers and the materials, and even we can go to these fuel systems. Nowadays there are a lot of hue and cry on using of these natural fuels, fossil fuels. So we are shifting to electric and electronic, like this. So there will be thought process in this secondary agriculture, in farming, how best we can make this use, and the outcome will be fantastic. There will be a lot of expansion for the growth. Whenever the growth products are available, automatically market and the newer demand will be there. Therefore, when you look secondary agriculture, how you should visualize, we must have this very planned withdrawal from the of this working force from primary sector to the secondary sector. I told a farmer can change his perspective from his ideas to his kids and kins. Okay, if what they are interested. I am interested in the primary production. Let my son or daughter or anybody into second part of it, marketing part of it, okay, and value addition part of it, or the linkage part of it. Like this, we must these encash the changing demands. Okay, what exactly it is required. Diversity is our biggest asset in India. People say population diversity is the menace for the growth. I don't say it is the biggest asset for India, but it is left to us how to use it. Already prime ministers made it several times that one step by Indian forward, it is equivalent to 125, 130 crore steps forward. So this is the meaning that we must encash this opportunity to build our nation very strong nation. And at the same time, yes, we must have this encouraging perspective of the rural industrialization, so that whatever the produced in the village should be used there only for the industry, so that that this distance it matters. Nowadays people comment on apple coming from Himachal to Koppal, for example, how many kilometers it travels, how much time, and what was the logistic. So people are becoming very quality consciousness. Traceability has come, a lot of things have come into that. Therefore we must realize that the importance of the primary produce and the secondary conversion at the rural level itself. Okay, we need not think always about the export may be less than 10% in India, but domestic supply, if you go to the good quality, good service, it is more than serving any country abroad. That's what I feel personally. So therefore we can improve this supply chain management. Already a lot of development has come in supply chain management, especially this e-commerce platform has been created. Wonderful, the transaction is going on, and quality guarantee is also there automatically. Overall is the person development more than any investment of technology, money, or anything, is a people investment. Okay, people are the major capital. So when people gather, anything may happen. It may include the experts, technocrats, entrepreneurs, businessmen, fintech specialists, and the common farmer. So we must make a common platform. We must listen to everybody. So this people strength, we already proved in our independence that people strength is more than anything. So therefore farmer is a strength of us, India. So I'll just go through some of the examples wherein the wonderful report has come on this one article. There it was in the rural post. One student has written on this, that secondary agriculture is the potential solution to migration. Really, we have seen in the COVID, COVID has brought many them to back home. So that time they were not at all familiar with their own profession like agriculture. Many of us who have come from the village and the farming family, but we have we have gone away from that by looking to so many job opportunities in the rural, the urban sector according to the needs of the urban. When they come back to villages, their families, they have forced them to go back to primary production, or the secondary was also going on. To promote the primary agriculture, there are so many inputs required. Standard quality inputs are required for primary production. So those youths, they have gone into developing some of the farm inputs or the output of this migration has been taken care. One example, let me start from our Koppal district. Mr. Basaya Hiramat is actually an Infosys technocrat. He has put a lot of his money, efforts, time, everything into that, converting this moringa, the one of wonderful crop on the earth after pomegranate is the moringa. So he started organic production of the moringa to start with. He started with his own farm, 30 acres. Now it has gone into 80 acres. Okay, by taking other farms, motivating all what you call the encumbrance of this farm. Okay, outskirts of his farm, all farmers, he is converting them into moringa farmers. This is very good actually. So he is making all efforts to branding it, and he put a lot of, I know his struggle, okay, to convince the bureaucrats, to convince the policymakers, to convince the government, and also each and every fair he has been moving and promoting this quality moringa powder in the form of tablets. It has come. A lot of efforts. He has got several awards on this. And the second one, the very simple farmer Krishna Kulkarni, he is very near to my center, extension center. When I met him first time, he told, sir, in our home, our parents used to prepare the morning snacks through jawar, rabi jawar. In our area, rabi jawar, which comes in the rabi season without any irrigation. So he told, there are a lot of foods we have enjoyed, sir. I want to go for a plant. Then we made him to go for IMR Hyderabad. He took a training on entrepreneurship and one on technology. Now he's a successful producer of the sorghum based products on different snacks and whole grain and whole powder. So all these things he's doing, and he's connecting all the rabi sorghum growers to his plant. And now under the brand Matru Foods, he is serving the nation. So one more example, when you talk on the SAU part, our KVK, as Moni sir told, we have a very less number of Krishi Vignana Kendras compared to China or any other developing country. So definitely one efforts by one of our KVK Agri, Ballari district, home scientist, Dr. Shilpa, she took an initiative converting this fig, very simple crop, which will come under the very drastic climatic conditions, just like burr. So fig is a very important crop of the Ballari district and comes in with the very less water footprint and also less natural resource damager, and a farmer crop and a very good nutritious crop. So she took an initiative to convert those farmers of the fig into entrepreneurship, to a lot of capacity building workshops. You can see here many women of the farm, they have been involved by changing this fig into several value-added products of the fig, especially fig rolls. They are very, very popular among the children and the pregnant women. Okay, because fig is a very nutritious food containing especially the iron, which helps a lot in developing the blood. In the same line, one more woman, Divya Rawat from Uttarakhand, she's called as a mushroom lady. Okay, not only growing the mushroom, but she has encouraged several women like her in her area, and to especially hillocks we have seen in Uttarakhand or Himachal Pradesh. It's very tough job. Communication is tough job, and moving in and around for different aspects of farming or the income generation, hill area. So she made a group and she trained several youngsters, and in mushroom she has really brought a good name and fame to her family and her region through only the mushroom. This comes under the enterprise. Mushroom is a good food nowadays. So this is a very important part, because we talk of a lot of quality in the primary production. okay, either organic way or a natural way or a sustainable way. So inputs are very important. So in inputs, one of the major inputs is our earth or earthworm product. Okay, so this vermicompost. So how best say, many people produce vermicompost in India. I don't want to comment on the quality because it goes with the farmer or this kind of workers, how they value that quality. That's very important. What kind of residues they bring to develop very good vermicompost. Always I personally say to my farmers, have good vermicompost in the bottom and honeybees on the top. So your farming is done. So this is how honeybees are also important at the canopy level, and vermi compost or the worms are important in the root level. These two will bridge your gap of farming. They will help you, and that cannot be quantified. Nowadays, everything is asked on the quantification. What is the quantification? What is the quantified loss or the profit? These primary creatures of the earth, we cannot quantify their efforts, the service to the farmers and the nature mother. So nowadays we also find a lot of farmers, especially specialized farmers who are into commercial crops like turmeric, garlic, or some other spice crops, short statured crops. They also use this biochar. There is a lot of research has gone into that. One of the organizations is called Brief. They have put a lot of efforts in technology development. How best there are a lot of bio research available in India, and sometimes always it converted into manure, okay, with or without knowing what is the part of the manure and what is the part of to be used at the biochar, because we cannot trust upon these natural fossil fuels for everything. So therefore biochar could be possible, and it is made very good research into that, and capacity development has been done, and many farmers they are using the biochars. And always we say, when you want to move to organic farming, we must look into biofertilizer level. This is very important. Whenever farmers used to say, before introduction of the high yielding varieties or the chemical fertilizers, which were feeding our crops, which were feeding our soil, it was all the microbes and their byproducts. So they were acting as the fertilizers or the nutritional factors for the farm, and that crop is grown under that condition, fed to the animal or the farm animals, maybe cattle, cow, horse, sheep, whatever it is there. Then it give back the manure back in the form of dung. In Punjab, on a big scale, farmers, they are involved in making these what you call this dungs into different structures, and making them use it for refueling their own farm houses, and also biofuel concept. So like this, one company is there, Biofix. I just took one slide of it. That's a private company. And wonderful thing is Biofix are into the yard, APMC residues, APMC waste. And now recently we have seen repealing of our APMC Act and the farm laws. Okay, APMCs are the good source of so much of residues or the remains of our agricultural produce. Whenever grading takes place, whenever the sorting takes place, whenever the storage takes place, a lot of remains are left over, and that ends in some drainage or some pit. So Biofix has come forward to look into that. They have wonderfully leveraged. They did leverage these things, and with the technology, logistic, they have converted all these remains into a good wealth, and they are guiding many people in this aspect. So this is about changing to new crops. I told sustainability of the primary production is also part of the secondary agriculture. So whenever farmer feels it is enough for me, this crop is enough for me, let me go to the next economic level by growing the same farming pattern is the seedling. Raising seedling is the biggest income for the rural enterprise. We find huge number of nurseries in India all along the highway, service roads, even at the farm level. Especially women-led nurseries are more profitable and more running successfully. So one effort was there in Jharkhand. One simple farmer, okay, after so many years of farming, he felt from where my money is drained. Moni sir was saying rural money is being drained to the urban sector. So he counted on that part, and he started producing his own nursery, not only using for himself and also selling to others with a minimum margin. so that the income has been doubled or tripled in the days to come. So like this new crops, especially I wish to quote here one Kadiyam Mandal near Rajahmundry in Andhra Pradesh in East Godavari district. Wonderful nursery. There are so many nurseries in the Kadiyam region. Okay, and they are also using, you see the power, okay, solar power. It's a very good plan. This man is using the solar power to raise this nursery, I mean using for irrigation and all other factors. This is a very good blending of thinking by the farmers or the nursery people. And the down one is on the paddy nursery. The nursery seedling, nowadays the farm has been squeezed into a container. Earlier farm means 200 acres, 300 acres. Now 2 gunta, 1 gunta, because hydroponics has come, vertical farming has come, aeroponics has come, aquaponics has come. So rice seedlings are grown, raised under hydroponics. Means the quality seedlings, what is required for a seedling in the seedling stage, establishment stage, is put through hydroponics. This is one technology by one company, and they have made it successful, that to raise these hydroponic seedlings of the rice and put into paddy transplanter. Labor shortage is the biggest hurdle in our production. So that is taken care of automatically. Here I'm saying rice grower is also into secondary agriculture here, because he is raising the very good seedlings on the quality basis, and he is also helping an industry called hydroponics. See, this is how the quality and the quantity they are produced on par. And in between I have shown the latest fruit plant is the dragon fruit. Okay, it is found on each and everybody's office table nowadays. Okay, in what you call that fruit mixture, when say salad, dragon fruit also finds the place. So when dragon fruit was introduced, there are so many hiccups in that seedling quality, the plantation. Now things have been changed. Technology has come in. They are producing very good quality nurseries. And banana, we have passed several time into very good quality banana seedlings. So ultimately, tissue culture technique has brought in very good imbibing some good traits in banana in seedling stage itself, so that any ailments coming in the growing stage can be looked after. Like this seedling, nursery formation is a very good part of this secondary agriculture. And this is the one example. This Magan Sangrahalaya Samiti in Maharashtra, in Pune. See, they have converted everything of the farm and the farm product into a value-added product, and they have involved them. It's a participatory program. They have involved everything. Nothing goes waste. If you visit these Samiti activities, that landscape is a huge, almost 500,000 rural folks are there into this, and they're doing a lot of work, especially in organic production of these crops, and their end product. Nothing goes waste here. Everything is put back into processing, and either to the farm back or to the consumers. This is how these people are doing. And now secondary agriculture, I told, now some farmers, if they are not willing to put their sons into farming, let them put into business enterprise like farm gate supply. Many farms we find their kids and kins, okay, their family members, they are selling their product at their farm gates. Need not go to the biggest market to overcome all the hurdles in the marketing. They are doing it. And because of road infrastructure, especially in India, road infrastructure is developed. We can go to any part in a short notice. So such a level infrastructure is there now. So people go to directly farm. It's a B to C, F to C, I can say, farmer to consumer. So like this, youths are getting involved in that marketing. They love the marketing. Okay, rather than making their hands dirt in the farm, they love marketing. Let them do it. Once they feel the importance of this product, automatically it will take back into the farming. So this is the reverse logistic I am saying. So show them the flag, automatically they will salute. This is the way I say. Then whenever new introduction crops are come, especially the fodder, the animal husbandry in India, it is one sector in India. It is, I say, it is a bank in home. Okay, one bull in the farm and one cow in the house, it will meet your needs, family members. So like this, in KVK, Namakkal in Tamil Nadu, while introducing the forage crops, fodder crops, they have brought in new Napier grass or the advanced fodder crops. But while introducing, they just simply supply the material, but they stood with the farmers. They introduced the technology, they introduced their growing conditions, everything they have done, and they even initiated the market of those products. This is how, okay, this handholding, complete handholding is a must as a technocrat, as a scientist. So this is wonderfully done by the KVK Namakkal in introducing the new crop as a fodder to the farmer of that area. Same thing, one step I have made it here. Okay, this is huge part. And one of the important information shared by Dr. Gowda sir of ICRISAT long back, that before you introduce any new crop or new variety, you must develop all aspects of that, starting from water utilization, input utilization, and quality seed production, and the quality architect. I'll always go behind the farmers, the farm architect. Each and every crop has got its privacy. Okay, respectful space for the crop should be given, not mixing all the crops in hurry and calling it as a natural farming. No, I don't agree for it. Okay, as we individual in the house, we have our own space. Crop also demands a space for to get the better natural energy into that. Therefore, this kind of farm architect is very, very important. So a farmer should plan his farm or our farm in a very meticulous way before stepping into farming. So automatically your farm architect will reveal how best you are equipped with the knowledge and the awareness of the farming or farm linked activities. So this diversity, I told you, introduction of new crops nowadays in the form of financial implications, so many crops getting introduced from traditional to non-traditional area, but one must be very careful enough whether it fits to my zone or not, whether it fits to my water intake or not, because water footprint is the biggest problem now. Okay, many oilseed crops are coming into India, but huge water footprint. So we must consider that also. So whether it is sucking my water or sucking my nutrients like anything, before you introduce, please check your farm, then introduce this activity. That's very important. And one Tricovedic Limited is a wonderful people. Now they have converted everything into tertiary level. See, secondary level is the value addition or some bioprocessing, but tertiary level is taking the ingredients from the crop. That is very important. The medicine part of it. Okay, so that level they have gone by using some crops like aloe vera or some cucumber or some garlic like that. They have gone to the ingredients level. That is the ultimate value of the crop. Whenever people say shunti chai pure, okay, it's a whole product base, but tertiary agriculture says take the concentrate of the shunti and make it an industry so that many people can be taken care of. This is the beauty of the industry in agriculture. So, and this one I have seen with my own eyes. This protected cultivation concept has entered India and changed the lives of the farmer, livelihood of the farmer automatically. Those who are cultivating 20-30 acres of land with the normal staple food crops, they have just converted 10 guntas of this protected cultivation. They have earned very good earning for their family. They could give the education to their family members. Okay, they could establish good house and home for them. So many crops are being listed in the protected cultivation. And here, let me show this one. I have personally visited this farm in Nashik, near Nashik. Yes, Aqua Group, Yes Agri and Aqua LLP is there. It is highly potential technology that they have adopted, and they are advising farmers also. 1 acre polyhouse of turmeric is producing 100 acres of turmeric output by only the vertical farming. And again, it is a soil based one. We talk of soilless in hydroponics, but this is the soil based one. They have beautifully constructed, beautifully engineered this structure, and it is, and with the required the concentration of the curcumin in the turmeric produced, and they are supplying to international industries, and they are earning a lot. And they are also making so many farmers on the subscription model to their company, and many farmers are getting benefited. See, 1 acre polyhouse of turmeric producing 100 acres of turmeric. This is the beauty. Okay, 1:100. This is the potential of our farming. So this way, this is one slide. Those who are interested, they can visit this. and they are very good people. Different technologies and advice they are giving. And they also produce this biofloc system in the fisheries, wonderful technology. And they are also into e-village concept. I think everybody should have heard about the Swaminathan sir, wherein he used to say this eco village concept. And Swaminathan sir used to comment one thing: in India, all the agriculture we have except precision agriculture, means we are not precise in the use of inputs or engaging the outputs in a proper way. This is the word caution note he used to give. Like this, these Yes Aqua people also, they have developed apps, okay, supporting apps for the e-village concept. So this e-village concept has done a good exposure of the rural infrastructure to the world, wherein all facilities, which are the facilities lacking, which are the facilities to be come up, and what are the development activities they are going in a very large scale. And Punjab, now lot of abuse and this thing are in Punjab and Haryana with respect to their water use or burning residue, all those things. Delhi, if you get the smog in Delhi, the blame goes to Punjab farmers. But in Punjab also, a lot of things are happening, especially the Punjab renewable energy system. They are doing a lot of work on using these bio-based products, okay, into a fuel primary product. A lot of industries have come into that, and nothing goes into a straw model or the what you call, they are put into fire. So they are converting them at the farmer's gate itself. Then they are bringing into they are converting that into renewable energy. This is one beautiful plan they have introduced, and there is running successfully. And when you come to today's hot topic is the CNG. A lot of bio CNG call, or bio compressed gas we call. And now government is also planning go for this piped natural gas supplied to the each and every house. So in this, bio plays a very vital role, because when you consider environment and the exhaustion of the natural resource on the earth, bios remains are available plenty. Let us compress them with the technology to get into a good gas, to be used either at the household level or at the industry level. In this, I wish to quote two examples. One is Mahindra World City, Chennai, and Carbon Masters in Bangalore. So they are doing a lot of work, and especially in Maharashtra under Indian Oil Corporation, so many firms have come in by making this bio CNG with good capacity and good quality, and using all the products, either animal products or the crop products, especially cow dung, okay, getting converted. Huge cow dung is converted into bio CNG, and it is environmental friendly. The most important part is whatever we live, however we live, but we must live our environment to sustain our living. This is very important. Okay, what is sustainability is, it is not our living, it is the living of the things who make our life sustainable. So this is sustainable living. So this is one bio CNG is there. And like this one Morachi Chincholi, agro-tourism part of the secondary agriculture. Just I will run some of the slides on this. This is a wonderful village in the near Pune. They have converted entire village into agro-tourism. Okay, a lot of fairs are happening there. The recreation is there, and farm related activities are going on, and indirectly it is creating a lot of jobs for the youths. Okay, and the tourist, whenever recently Prime Minister was harnessing these economics of tour, trade, and technology, 3Ts. So in this, agro-tourism plays very vital role as a part of secondary agriculture. So automatically, tourists, what they want, okay, that recreation, the revitalization part can be given through villages. Villages can be made as a fantasy world of this India. So automatically, the farmers joining hands. I again told it is the people's what you call the energy, the power. Okay, if they join by leaving all their isms back, automatically we can create a wonderful world in the rural sector through agro-tourism. It is a must visit by anybody. This is Morachi Chincholi in Pune. So next year we are going to celebrate 2023 as the millets year. So in this Odisha especially done a lot of work on the Odisha millets mission. Millets, minor millets, now they are the noble crops of this climate, not only the India or abroad. The climate crops are the millets crops. Okay, they hardly speak, but when they speak, they speak loudly. Means either nutrition or economy gain or the income or the footprints of the their production. This is very important. So here, especially with the NGO called Vasan and Odisha government, they took a lot of initiatives by involving the farmers, by raising their standards of hope in millet production. So a lot of IMR contribution is also huge in this millets promotion. Nutri Hub they have created, and public-private partnership has done wonderfully in that. Those who people see, for example, this tour trade technology, millet is a very befitting crop. Okay, you can enjoy, you can make the tourist enjoyable with the millet products. Wonderful cookies, biscuits, pasta, whatnot. So it can be done. Technology to produce the millets at their best. Okay, so like this, then the trade automatically, when the technology and the tour is there, trade also happens. So wherever the trading facilities are in the tour, let make our farmers millets into their shelves, so that we can connect this wonderful economic activity. So I told already, this climate smart village has come into states, especially by different valuable institutes. One of the good projects was running in Bihar, especially how one should individual become smart enough in farming or at the village level. Okay, how we should know our weather, how we should know our water, how we should know the carbon footprint, the traceability factor, because uh, uh, this mitigation is the biggest hurdle, because the cost involved in mitigation of the this carbon footprint is very costlier. So therefore, how best to we can reduce that cost before we reach out to mitigate it. So how to make our farm or the village to totally climate resilient. So, and the most important one is the nitrogen smart. In the name of nitrogen, in the name of growth of the crop, we are sending a lot of nitrogen and its production to water and the soil. Now recently the blue baby syndrome has come. The doctors, the medicine people, they are saying it is only because of the bad effect of the nitrogenous products in the water, in the food. See, this is the biggest threat to the livelihood or the existence of the human being themselves. So we must be very careful. Yeah, nitrogen, we know it is a very highly volatile and it is less than 30%. NOEV is the less than 30%. So therefore, how best we can precisely go for this precision nutrient management by managing the nitrogen, because nitrogen is a very important part of agriculture. So like this, and we must make our all farm production or the post farm production energy efficient. How best we can use these renewable energies. Okay, either it is wind or the air or the light, whatever it is there. So these pancha mahabhuta, what we call, they are giving the energy indirectly, but we must tap them properly on time, so that we must make our farm as the energy efficient or the energy smart. So for all these knowledge, okay, the wisdom, information, always Moni sir's emphasis on data 100%. We are not yet into data India. Okay, we are talking on digital India, but basic data infrastructure I experienced with my precision agriculture project. I have collected the data that it is to be accessed for next 10 years. That much data has come, my God. Okay, I immediately told my all scientists, data is the strength and the weakness of precision farming. If you're
I
capable of
think, Professor Patil, in this point, I would like to tell the audience,
yes sir,
you really touched my heart in
yes
this
sir,
point. In 2005, I wrote an article. I was
yes,
addressing an international conference. Where is our farm and where is our farmer? What
yes,
is our farm and what is our farmer? Who
yes sir,
is our who is our farmer? And we don't even methodically create a database on a farm.
yes,
If we would have done it, that's what in 87 when I initiated District Information System Program 30, the 28th sectoral project,
yes
if we would
sir,
have done it, now today with artificial intelligence, big data analytics, We don't have to deal with the statistics. We're done with a lot of things. No
Yes, sir.
raw data means no, no artificial intelligence. Poor data means poor artificial intelligence. That's it.
Exactly, sir.
Okay, carry on.
Really, sir. See, I always say our business people, the stock market and the market research people, they have better data than our farm scientists. So this is the reverse order. Here, the knowledge, we must give our best to the gaining the knowledge from whatever corner of the world. Okay, people are ready to share their knowledge, but only thing is we're at the accessible level. We must evaluate ourselves whether I am fit into get that knowledge. Okay, that data we must collect database. So finally, I wish to touch as directed by Dr. Moni sir that how we must prepare ourselves either at the education level or the research level or the outreach, that is the extension competency, in order to make it to happen the secondary agriculture in a befitting way. Is we need to redefine entire system. Okay, maybe partly we must have done, but this knowledge handling the computer, okay, or whatever we call the advanced computing systems or IT, okay, and I personally gone into this geospatial technology as insisted by my teacher Dr. V.C. Patil. So everything happens on the geospatial technology. So really geospatial technology and the information technology and the biotechnology, this is a deadly combination, I can say. It's a multi-star film, okay, in farming. So if you combine all the three, wonderful things will happen, as supported by artificial intelligence, blockchain technology. See, this blockchain technology, I wish to quote here, one of the biggest, largest FUs of India is this Ayodhya, Vilas Sinde. They are using all these technologies in their farm produce activities, in their farm produce activities, releasing the value of these products. There is no end for using this one. And awareness creation, nowadays we call the metaverse. Anything is possible in the metaverse. 360 degree.
I think, sir, internet connection is disconnected, sir. Sir joined, sir.
And the manpower planning is also very important, and the clear proportion, the work responsibilities is also must. So automatically, the governance plays a very vital role, and agriculture is such a discipline. Everybody knows it. It cannot be met with a single discipline. It is always a multidisciplinary. So nowadays it is going transdisciplinary. So everybody is important in this value chain. Okay, either the farmer or the final the delivery man, okay, who makes or she makes a good product of it. So automatically in between this market linkage comes, and all the transformations they happen. So in this way,
Patil,
I must
your picture
appreciate.
is not coming. Your picture
Sorry,
is
sir?
not coming. Your
Okay,
picture is not coming.
my
Video on curve. It's gone. Please join. You'll join. There is some internet issue, and Professor Patil is likely to join. Please stay with us. And he has been covering very important topic, that farm linked activities and secondary agriculture, in a very effective manner. Uh, Let me talk to him just 1 minute. I think there is an issue, Mr. Manish Chabra. Let me conclude,
Okay,
and
sir.
I think there is a internet issue, and he is not able to contact. Oh, he's joining now. Okay, and
No, sir. Sir was on the 37th slide, so rest three
yeah,
slides
you show
was
it.
left. So I
Okay,
joined,
fine.
sir.
Okay, he joined. Ah,
Sorry, sir.
okay, fine, no problem. You carry on with the remaining
Network,
slides.
network issue, sir.
Yeah, yes,
So,
yes, true.
yeah, I must use this platform to congratulate and also thank Professor Moni sir for having run very different kinds of institutes in India under Shobhit University. Hats off to sir for his thinking and creating wonderful courses to gear up our youths in a very different style and functioning of with good knowledge, especially on the informatics. Lot of informatics, very big what you call repository on this informatics in different level. So say with this, I say what is exactly required today's Indian scenario for the farmer is the profits, the knowledge, and the power. Okay, because we cannot make a small holder into big holder in Indian context nearby. So whatever available holding is there, we must feel him or her that there is a profit, there is a knowledge, and there is a power in your farm, so that a farm should become an institution with the knowledge and with the tech enabled, so that everybody can look into, oh, these small old farmers in India is a big institution. So therefore we must what you call the extract the entrepreneurial energy of the small old farmer. We don't know, they look very uneducated or they are illiterate, like, but their energy, their thinking process is beyond our limit. So we must tap that source of knowledge with the farmers available, and we must bring in very respectful investments. This is very important, and with the compliance or the performance indication, that's very important. Otherwise so many products will come and go, but without any meaningful output. So we must make it a very independent agency of secondary agriculture with just like a defense team, okay, the war footing team, then only things will happen in India. So as sir told, it is finally the data. Okay, it is a digital age, and data will the is the fuel, new fuel, I can say. If you want to burn it properly, definitely we can get the light, we can get the energy, and also we can get the enlightenment of this database. So for sustainable development is one, and while doing all these things, we should not lose our inner net. Okay, what you invest more and also invest back. This inner engineering has put it by the Sadhguru, that inner net part while making a project, while developing a project, while executing a project is very important to make our India happy and ourselves Indian. Finally, I conclude with my Honorable Prime Minister's saying that agriculture sector of the country, our farmers, our villages is the foundation of self-reliant India. So we have been self-reliant long back. When you look back our history, we were self-sufficient, we were self-reliant. In between, something has made a different perspective, but now it is high time to come back to our self-reliant India. Definitely, we can send our signal from local to global. So, and the architect of this doubling farmers' income, and my beloved senior at the college, very good human being, Dr. Ashok Dalwai sir's comment that India can cheer its success with green revolution at 75, but at 100, you should cheer similarly in the income revolution. So this is what I wanted to say finally. I don't know how much things I have covered with my knowledge and capacity, because it's a huge one more session or two more sessions may be needed by experts or other people to cover up everything step by step. But really, I really grateful and feel blessed with the kind permission of the Moni sir in one stroke, that yes, you come and talk, and really much obliged, sir, for your kind approach. And whatever I collected, I have experienced, I have put it across. So thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Just your camera so that
Oh, sorry.
your head can come slightly up. Okay,
Yes,
good.
yes.
So thank you very much, and it's a very important topic, and you know I know one good thing which I enjoyed is that a person was born in a farming family of having more than 200 hectares of land, and getting into the agricultural education, agricultural research, and then getting now after taking a voluntary retirement and then establishing an agriculture academy to train youths. It's a big journey. Now people used to say that farmers do not want to put their sons and daughters in agriculture, but you yourself is an example that you know uh, born in a farmer's family, and then kind of did a higher education, and then practical projects and motivated youths, and now getting back to once again that with your vast experience getting into the skill and entrepreneurship development of rural youths. I salute you, and I'm also seeing your in the at the beginning of this webinar series, you send an email that Professor Moni, why don't you make each topic as a film? And that's how I was also, even though we met in 2008 when I was invited by Dr. Patil to deliver an
Yes.
keynote address at Raichur. I was
Yes, sir.
quite overwhelmed, and that time Dr. Raj Khosla was
Yes.
from US. We were also there, and Dr. H.K. Mishra from Institute of Rural Management,
Management.
Anand was also there. But I was invited as a chief guest to give the keynote address. On that one, still that address is still cherishing in my mind. It's very important. And for that matter, I'm not an agriculture scientist, but agriculture is in my DNA. I was also born and brought up in rural family, and that's how, when as an IITian, when the opportunity was given to me by the government, way back in 87, to promote technology in districts under the district information system program, I've not gone into the computerization of the district's administration, but I brought the 28 sectoral database development program. And that time many people didn't realize, and they say that the computerization of the district collector office is very important than
Yes.
the database development. But still, I visualized it and made the presented in 5 district collectors conference, which was held in 87 88 at Jaipur, at Hyderabad, at Bhopal, at Impal, and Coimbatore. And that's how the information revolution has taken place. And if the database as envisaged under that program would have been done today with artificial intelligence and big data analytics, real database based planning would have been possible.
Yes.
And people once again relied on, we have a well established statistical systems in the country, and they will provide whatever is needed. That's why in 2009-10, when there was a committee on how to use agricultural farm data and farm related data for promoting agribusiness activity, there was a
Yes.
committee established by National Statistical Commission. I was chairing that task force as a subcommittee, under a very big committee. I said that the first organization which is supposed to be, the reform, is the Directorate of Economics and Statistics attached to with the Ministry of Agriculture, which is got headed by a secretary level officer and about more than five, and a economic and statistical advisor and a principal advisor, and more than five advisors in the Directorate of Economics and Statistics. If they don't understand technology,
Yes.
and agriculture information will not find the light of the day. That's what
Yes.
it is. It is in 2008 and 2009. And it's very important that India has achieved Digital India program, digitalization, but doubling farmers' income talked about the agriculture value chain. I'm very happy about that. But everything is revolving around the data value chain. So the data value chain is an enabler for optimal utilization of resource needed for agricultural sector. And this is what I have been, being a non-agricultural scientist, I have been voicing and working for the last more than 40 years in the field. And that's the reason only I thought that we have an agriculture economics, agriculture science, agriculture engineering, and agriculture extension. Then you have an agricultural economics and agriculture statistics. And then I thought that agricultural informatics as an important discipline,
Yes.
that every agriculture science graduate has to come out. When he come out, he also should come out as a computer scientist. Agriculture scientist and computer scientist can be achieved by agricultural informatics. So that precision farming will be the part of the DNA. And it is very important. That's why I have been, I have been talking about it. And then and after my retirement, the Shobhit Institute of Engineering and Technology is the first private university in the country, UGC approved university, to have a Center for Agricultural Informatics and E-Governance Research Studies. And that time, that initial discussion was when I was in service, I was invited as a visiting professor and this to the university, and I involved person like scientists like Professor R.B. Singh,
Oh,
and a lot of senior scientists from ICAR who was proven capability and visionaries. And then I thought that ICR will take advantage. Till now, ICR system has not taken advantage. And only 3 months back, under the higher education project of the World Bank, that Dr. R.K. Agarwal, the DDG Education, has invited me to talk about, Professor Moni, you are doing this one, how we can streamline in the agricultural education systems that. And we have to see it in a holistic manner. That's why I thought that let us retrain BS agriculture graduates, engineering graduates. COVID situation has taught a big lesson. I'm very happy to see your, that slide that in a rural post, article was written that is a secondary agriculture is the it is a solution for migration. And engineering students and postgraduate students of any discipline, let
yes,
us
sir.
train them through agricultural informatics and bring them back to agriculture. You
Yes.
have on-farm exercise. In on-farm exercise, many of the things are also apart from biological understanding. There are a lot of non-biological understanding is there, and off-farm and non-farm. And that's how that two centers of excellence. The first university, engineering university, having an agricultural use case as the core. And even IITs don't have, even NITs don't have, even IIMs don't have, and
Yes.
even 4,500 engineering colleges they don't have. They teach computer science, artificial intelligence, to have people on structured problems for corporates. Agriculture is an
Yes.
unstructured problem, very
Yes.
suitable for big data analytics and artificial intelligence. Even computer science discipline, they didn't understand for quite some time, for more than 3.5 decades, 4 decades. And this is where I thought that being an person who studied MTech in computer science from IIT Chennai 76, 78 batch, I thought that it is a godsend opportunity that I should promote it. And I am doing it. I'm trying to connect all the dots. And during the COVID, and this university has invited me, and this is the first university in the whole world to have such type of 5 centers to promote technology in rural India. You have 14.5 crore operational holders, and you have 63 million MSMEs in the country. Nobody is there to help them technologically.
Yes.
And then you see that both to this and China has got more than 6.5 lakh skill centers in agriculture sector, and India has got only about 700 kVKs and about equal amount of atmas. I don't know. At that time when the project was being developed, I was invited for the discussion. Dr. Sethi was a World Bank consultant. He was working on it, and then one expert from Center for Educational Communication from ISRO was also involved. Later he became the president of NASCA. I told him, let Atma have got Agriculture Technology Management Agency. You have got an Atma acronym, but let it have a real Atma soul. And this was in 1995, 96. And you have an Atma, you have KVK 700 plus 700, but you need 2.25 lakh, KVKs. You have to have agri-tech startups. That is important. And to have, India has got about 200, you have got, 127 agroclimatic zones.
Yes.
And then you have got 365 days of sunshine. Which country has it?
Yes.
And we have got about 85% of the operational holders are small and marginal farmers. So it has to be an informatics-led development, not mechanization. Maybe mechanization with small-scale mechanization, not tractor-based. And informatics-led development is very important, which I have been voicing from 95 onwards, when I had the blueprint for IT in agriculture through a national conference on informatics for sustainable agriculture development way back in 95 at Vigyan Bhavan. Before national e-governance in agriculture or national e-governance for a system which was announced by central government in 2005 by the bureaucrats. And this is the scenario, and it's very important. And that's why in 2005 I wrote an article, Rural India to Shine, Smile and Roar. And today people have an objection when our Ashoka pillar have that lines when they have the new parliament building, when they put it, when it is roaring. Really it is roaring, but they have their own politics. And in 2005 I wrote an article, Rural India to Shine and Smile and Roar, through some of the projects which I have initiated. It's very important. And that's the reason only when I was associated with the Doubling Farmers Income Committee report by Dr. Ashok Dalwai and the then Secretary Agriculture, Mr. H.K. Patnaik, they put me as the Chief Advisor IT of the department. And I thought that I should bring from 1987 onwards as an abstracted version in this committee report. And India has to be a digitalized country in agriculture. Agriculture value chain has to be converted as a data value chain. And healthy data alone is a $1 trillion data economy. And it's very important. And agriculture, rural agriculture waste is about $12 billion every year.
Yes.
We are not in a position to convert. And then I would like to quote the former chairman of, that Hindustan Unilever. He said it in 2012 in their shareholders meeting. Rural India can provide $1.9 trillion economy in addition to the existing GDP, 2012. Add all the inflation, all the dollar value, evaluation. And this can give more than $10 trillion economy of India, rural India, provided technology is adopted. Natural resource management is, managed through technology, and natural and resource use efficiency is achieved. And you said very clearly that India has got the highest rainfall, and India is the highest wastage of water. Where to go and break our head. And this is very important today, Professor Patil. You have brought out a lot of new things that, and you started with that. I would like to put it that you started with an overview of Indian agriculture farming sector, and you come out with completely on why secondary agriculture, what all 5 W's and 1 H. You brought it out. Even though Dr. Verma committee talked about in 2006, but 2022 you are also talking once again. And Professor Dr. Dalwai committee also talked about it. And this is the right time that through these doubling farmers income committee recommendations, especially digital technology in agriculture, where 7 mission mode project, we have to operationalize it. But what the government is doing it. The report was submitted in February 2018. The Secretary Agriculture on that time, he was not even bothered to call me for a single meeting till today. The new Secretary Agriculture has come, and they put me now in a committee. It took 4 years for that, the Minister of Agriculture, that we should engage a meeting with the person who was given volume 12B. And neither Minister of Electronics and Information Technology never even bothered to call me call for a meeting. I was a former director general in IC. Whereas they have a meeting with the bureaucrats and other people from the industry to talk about digital technology in agriculture. They even, announced a digital technology mission in agriculture, where they are not even talking about digital technology in agriculture of the Doubling Farmers Income Committee report. Then district level officers don't even know what is the Doubling Farmers Income Committee recommendation.
Yes.
This block level agriculture officers, block level rural development officers, block level animal husbandry officers, block level fisheries officers, they don't even know what is this recommendation. And they're all blocking. This is not block development officers. There is not noun, it is verb. They are blocking development. If they are not the Facebook and they are not LinkedIn with the farmers, I'm just quoting with the social media, they should be the Facebook for farmers. They should be the LinkedIn with the farmers.
Yes.
It's not happening. And that's why I thought that during the COVID situation, it is very essential whether I, as a farmer technocrat working for this grassroots level development, I should use this internet platform, university platform, and the 5 centers of excellence, that to propagate this one. And I started with my fingers crossed. Today you are delivering the talk 98th edition. With maybe 1 or 2 weeks would have been, talk would have been cancelled because the speakers would have, suffering from the COVID situation, or I would have suffering from COVID situation. But idea is there, new problems. And many of the research scholars would like to work on this problem. 2 hours video is giving a complete value chain for a problem.
Yes, sir. Yes.
They can work on it. They don't have to look for back volumes.
Yes.
And they don't have to look into internet resources to find out. They can, from this talk, they can take and research umpteen number of research problems. Then this is an agriculture related problems, propagation of doubling farmers income. And then this people used to say that Prof. Moni 2022, where is doubling income? I told him that 1947 we got independence, and we celebrate every year Independence Day celebrations. But still we say that poverty is not eliminated.
Yeah.
We invent poverty, but that is not true. 1947 is it's a landmark period, and now we are looking at 2047, and doubling farmers income by 2020 is a landmark.
Yes.
And let us do that. Anything which we do for farmers, and like Mahatma Gandhi said it, that as a talisman, whatever you do, can it help the rural people?
Yeah.
So now we have to have doubling farmers income by 2022 is that milestone. We have to always see that how we are achieving it, what we are doing it. That I agree with you. You quoted very nicely that the Dr. Dalwai, he's a good friend of mine. We work very closely, and he is the chief patron of this webinar series. And he even wrote it that, Professor Moni, you are the only technocrat you are promoting doubling farmers' income by 2022 in the country through this vast media. And people used to say that how Professor Moni is able to get every one topic, every week, and bringing different people from different region. And this is the effect of technology, connecting the dots. And if you have a mission with a vision, not a vision with a mission, if you have a mission with a vision, it means that the horse cart will be driven by the horse, not the cart will drive the horse. So this is a mission with a vision, not the vision with a mission. and I felt very happy. And today you brought out very importantly that I would like to, and that's the reason only this university has come out with agricultural informatics discipline. And for the last 10 years, I have been propagating it because everybody wants to become an agriculture officer. Everybody wants to become a bank officer. Nobody wants to go and work in the field. That is a pathetic situation. So I thought that with this agricultural informatics, people can get back to agriculture to work with farmer produce organization, or 1 lakh primary agriculture cooperative societies, or 22,000 primary fisher cooperative societies, or 1.5 lakh cooperative dairy cooperative societies, or create an agri-tech startup in every gram panchayat. So that is a mission which I have taken it up, and I'm very happy that people like you, let us join together, have a
Khandi-
big,
Yes, sir.
walkathon, because the whole country is now wasting their time on hackathon, but we need to have walkathon to work with the
Walkathon.
farm. It is very important with the technology. We have to do that. And today, and I'm also very happy that you put it out, but you said it very clearly. And skill and entrepreneurship development for rural youth is very important. That's why MTech, BTech, PG diploma in agricultural informatics, MBA, PG diploma, and diploma in agribusiness management to motivate, make the MBA in this discipline, agribusiness management, for one commodity value chain in every district. 750 district, we have to generate 750 MBA in agribusiness management to have an agriculture value chain. And that will facilitate. And MTech in agricultural informatics and PG diploma in agricultural informatics will bring in data value chain, agriculture data value chain. And this is that our important thing. I'm very happy that today, Professor Patil, you brought out very important thing, and I'm very happy that how to bring in a diploma course or a certificate course in association with your new institution on secondary agriculture to be announced to by the Soviet Institute of Engineering Technology through these two centers of excellence.
Okay, sir.
It can be both, offline and online, because
Mm.
agriculture is one where people have to be trained on farm level, on shop
Yes.
floor, on industry. And this is where, for example, next year is the International Year of Millet, and the doubling farmers income talks about smart irrigated farming, smart rainfed farming, and smart millet farming, smart tribal farming.
Tribal farm.
Our honorable president, madam, is from a tribal community. So in order to push the doubling farmers income by 2022 committee recommendation on smarter tribal farming, I thought that let us initiate a project on smarter tribal farming, millet value chain in 10 villages, a cluster of 10 villages starting from Gujarat, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, and Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, and to have different millet, starting from these, that productivity level and all the things which you talked about it, and you said it very nicely. Produce organically, and then process methodically, and then market strategically, and consume carefully. And it is a very important slogan, and it's important that we should achieve it. That this is and the and the millet value chain. So I'll be very happy to closely associate with you in this one. I had a presentation in the Ministry of Tribal Affairs, and the Joint Secretary said it, Professor Moni, it's very important, but you please initiate a project from the state level and try to bring in within another 1 month, that make the state government to submit the proposal to the Ministry of Tribal Affairs. Otherwise, it will be shifted to the next January. So now I'm working on it. I formed a separate group on smart tribal farming, I will also include you in the
Yes, sir.
WhatsApp group. And then let us work together to show that smart tribal farming is very important. In this one, we are trying to identify rural boys and girls with a graduate level to train them on MBA in agribusiness management by the university as a part of the project, and make them as a startup, and
Yes.
associated with the startup, and holding for another 2 years. So 5 years we will work with them and integrate with the global value chain. And we, university would like to, spearhead, and then associated with, we are signing an MOU with each state with an NGO which is working with the grassroots level, and also a millet value chain, Millet Mart Ventures, who are working with the Indian Institute of Millet Research, Hyderabad, and they are also export processed millets. And we would like to integrate global value chain and the national value chain. You said it very nicely. Whether you export or not, if you are able to trade 28 countries and and our union territories, that itself is a, it is, we're exporting to 28 nations within India. It's very important. So thank you very much, and I would like to hear
Thank you,
from
sir.
you the final
Yes, sir.
word, and then I will close the webinar, and we'll leave the studio. Over to you for a final word. How we would like to work together.
Sir, really, sir, it's a wonderful interaction, and after a long gap, I am hearing you in person, although virtual mode. It's really, I feel very blessed, okay, and very energized today. Because your thought process and the it's always worth to listen to you, sir. People like you, Dr. V.C. Patil, Dr. Ashok Dalwai. Yes, sir. Definitely, we'll form a company. Okay, I may be a junior level. This think tank
No.
company. Okay.
It is that take how we should contribute with your vast experience,
Yes, sir.
rural
Yes, sir.
India.
Yes, sir. Kandit.
That's it.
Definitely, sir.
That should be our mission.
Yes, sir. Really, Shobhit University is just like a TED Talks for me, sir. The way I was given opportunity to talk, it is no way lesser than any other international talk. So thank you very much, Honorable Chancellor, and your team. It's a first experience of this stream ad also for me. So it's all learning. I love to learn. Okay, whenever I meet new people, new
This is very
technology.
important, and the credit goes to Mr. Manish Chabra, and
Yes, sir.
everybody liked it. Professor Moni always do different things in different manner, and this is, it is, see, the whole world should know it is not like a Zoom meeting or Google meeting.
Yes,
What
sir.
we are, why we are, and sir, I'll talk to you. The webinar, still I'm on the webinar. I'll talk to you. And still, that is very important, and it has been well appreciated.
Yes.
And this is why we call it as a co-learning platform. It is initiated by the university, and he is behind it. Chancellor of the university is behind it in the co-learning, and the university is becoming like a torch bearer for many other universities.
Yes.
And many other universities now, they say that, Professor Moni, please help us to establish Center for Agricultural Informatics and E-Governance Research Studies. This Chancellor, the Honorable Chancellor of the university, is a broad-minded person, because any course we can take only 20 people, but India is a very big country, and at least we should train 2 to 3 people per block, 6,500 block, or we should train 6,500 agriculture officers, animal husbandry officers, fisheries officers, and bank officers, and rural development officers. 4 into 6,500. It is a big,
Yes.
domain, and somebody has to listen. I'll be very happy that let us work together, and let us
Yes,
try to bring this change. And people used to say that there is only one difference between Modi and Moni, Modi and Moni. And I'm very happy, because he it's a big man, but and our contribution has to be there. Let us do that. With this, I thank you very much,
yes, sir.
and
Thank you, sir.
I thank Honorable Chancellor, Honorable Vice Chancellor, and faculty members and the participants and the great speaker today, Professor Dr. Mahantesh B. Patil, for delivering this very wonderful job, very wonderful address, farm linked activities, and secondary agriculture for empowering the small and marginal farmers. It's very important. And with this, we will close the webinar and leave the studio. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.